Welcome back, one and all, to The Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky. Last time, we did the martial arts tournament and won. For some reason I thought I'd be coming back here. Do I just talk to this stick? I guess we're going straight to the castle then. Oh, I can't rotate here. I don't like the fact that I can't rotate here. Oh, we're going to the castle already? Just to remind you two that since we're going to be staying at the party, we won't be able to leave till morning. Yeah, that's fine. Hey, this is the castle of Her Majesty the Queen. Unless you have official business here, you need to leave. Hey! Hi there. We're sorry about the other day. Oh, it's you two. You still staying in town? Yeah. We still have some business to take care of. And we have a formal invitation, so by your leave, may we pass? A formal invitation? Received directly from His Grace. What? It's a giant. See, right here, written invitation. I see. To Zen and his team, in appreciation for your performance in the competition, you are cordially invited to a dinner party. Oh, okay, you guys were in a competition. Right, I heard the winning team was led by a huge Eastern guy. So that was you. You got it. We would greatly appreciate your help. Makes sense. The head maid told us you'd be coming. You're missing someone. What happened to him? It's kind of impolite, I know, but he doesn't look like it doesn't look like he's going to be able to make it. Why couldn't I fucking read that? We're the only ones. Huh, what a pity. No matter. Go on in. A little tired, but I'll be alright. I'll get through it. The castle foyer. Wow, it's very pretty. Whoa. You can say that again. I've never seen anything that compares to this place. It's not just pretty, it's got history. I can really feel the traditions and rules of the kingdom here. Welcome to Grancel Castle. You are Zen and his team, correct? Amalthea. That's right, we've come at the invitation of the Duke. And you are? Pardon me. I am Captain Kanoe Amalthea of the Intelligence Division, head of Grancel Castle Defenses. I would like to extend my heartfelt congratulations for your championship victory. Watching the match was truly a spectacular experience. You're too kind, really. And may I say, I didn't know they made women as young and pretty as you get into captains. You must do fine work. My, but you are the flatterer. But I'm not so young as your bracer friends. Estelle and Joshua Bright. It's been some time since the incident in Zeiss, hasn't it? Yeah, I guess it has. Quite some time. Unfortunately, the matter concerning Professor Russell is not yet resolved. It appears that he and his granddaughter were abducted by a group of nefarious individuals. You wouldn't happen to know anything about that, would you? Afraid not. We let the case up to the full-fledged bracers and came to Grancel. We never even heard the follow-up report on it. I see. That's a shame. Well, with the resources of the Intelligence Division, it's only a matter of time before the culprits are arrested. Have no fear. What the hell's wrong with her? Understood. We trust you to take care of the professor. Absolutely. Now, we must show you to your rooms. Shay, if you would please do the honors. Yes, ma'am. See to their needs, but do not bore them with idle chatter. Do I make myself clear? Yes, ma'am, I understand. Very good. Now, everyone, I hope you enjoy your evening. For my part, I must bid you farewell. That is one fine woman. I hate to say this, Zen, but your taste in women is crap. There's nothing fine about that fox-faced harpy. I think that might just be his favorite type of woman. I just tend to find that woman like... I just tend to find women like that turn out to be pretty good people once you peel back a few layers, so to speak. You're hopeless. Not that it matters, but you really do sound like a dirty old man. On my honor. Sorry about that. You were supposed to show us to our room. Yes, please allow me. Pardon me for not saying before, but I am Shay, a maid here at the castle. I will be at your service this evening from the dinner party until the morning. If anything is not to your satisfaction, please don't hesitate to let me know. Thank you. Will you show us to our room then? Certainly, on the second floor. Wow. Gotta love that chandelier. Hush, Estelle. What's this way? That is the throne room. Her Majesty uses it to receive personal guests. I haven't seen much use in recent days, though. I see. But is the Queen's condition really that bad? Isn't the birthday celebration coming up soon? Oh no. It's just that it's the head maid who tends to her in the royal keep as of late. I shouldn't speak on subjects about which I'm unfamiliar. Come then, shall we? This is the room where you will be staying. Please go on in. Okay. Pardon us. Holy Stragas. I never imagined we'd stay in a place like this. Nice. This will be a good story later. I believe there is still some time before the party. You are free to explore the castle, but the security areas are off limits. I ask that you refrain from entering those areas. Can you be a little more specific? More significantly, the royal keep from where the Queen resides. It is a small palace of sorts, built on the garden terrace on the roof. That sounds nice. Their terrace is where Her Majesty greets the people of Gransel during the birthday festivities. But you cannot go into the royal keep itself, but you may visit the garden if you like. As for the other restricted areas, there's the royal guard room and the treasury. I guess they're still wanted for questioning about all the terrorist stuff. Yes. The intelligence division is currently occupying it. Entrance is restricted, so please abide by the rules. Understood. By the way, what are the others who were invited doing? They've already arrived. I imagine they're relaxing in their respective rooms. Alright. So Mayor Klaus is here. Oh yes, he arrived some time ago. Now, if you'll excuse me, I must be off. If you need anything else, please contact the first floor waiting room. Okay then. Zen, we want to go take a walk around. We'll be back in time for the party. Must be nice to be so young. I'm worn out after the tournament. No problem. Have fun. Me, I'm going to kick back and relax in this oh so luxurious room. Mayor... Ah, Joshua, Estelle, you made it.
It's been quite some time.
Dean Collins! You were invited to the banquet as well, sir.
I just arrived today via airship from Rouen. A little mayoral birdie told me you two won the competition. Jill and everyone else will be so happy to hear it.
Thank you. I had no idea we'd be seeing you here, Dean Collins. Dean Collins is a member of the Royal Assembly and a man of the great respect in Liberal. It's only fitting that he be given a seat at this banquet.
A man of great respect, he says. You flatter me, Mayor.
What's the Royal Assembly? It's a meeting held once per year to address matters affecting the kingdom. The Queen, mayors of every city, and other representatives all come together to try solving various problems of state. So, like a meeting of Parliament. Sounds big. So, all of those guys who have been invited here tonight?
No, I'd say only about half. Her Majesty is still ill, and General Morgan is away on official business.
And Mayor Dalmore of Rouen has been arrested.
And Professor Russell...
He's a bit too entrenched in too many unknowns right now. We don't know how true all this talk of the Royal Guardsmen being involved in some underground terrorist organization. It's hardly the time to be holding a feast at all, if you ask me.
Well, if you use this chance to see what Duke Duan stands all... What? Well, we can use this chance to see where Duke Duan stands on all of these issues. We need his permission to have an audience with Her Majesty.
Yes, that's the biggest issue here without a doubt. Barring us from seeing Her Majesty is the height of idiocy and mismanagement. Princess Claudia, the Queen's granddaughter, right? Does she live here in the castle?
No, to my understanding her actual residence is elsewhere. But I'm told she's come to the capital as of a few days ago.
So she's here then. I'd like to meet her.
I'm sure you'll have a chance.
Gee, I wonder who it is. I already spoiled who it was, but if you don't remember, I'm not going to spoil it again. Empty room. Ah, hello, Maybelle. And Lila. Joshua, Estelle. Here at last. I kept wondering when you'd get here. I was practically counting the seconds. You were invited here too, Mayor. Hey, wait. You were waiting for us? How did you know we were coming?
I heard from Mayor Klaus.
I heard that a pair of children who entered the tournament won its championship and were invited to the Grand Royal Banquet here in the castle. If I'd known, I would have canceled my appointment and come to cheer you on. Begging your pardon, ma'am. But that would have been quite impossible given the circumstances. Yes, I'm aware. I'm trying to be polite. Don't worry. I know how busy you must be. I'm sure the Queen has no time to waste at a banquet, but with everything else going on, what is Duke Duan thinking? The captain was so stubborn about inviting me too. I had no real choice but to accept. Captain Amalthea. Oh yes, that's her. Her words were polite enough, but she gave me an evil eye while she spoke with him. I dared not refuse her request. I haven't heard from General Morgan in some time. Does that mean you haven't heard any word from Hacken Gate? The General is unavailable. Is the longest message I've been able to receive from them. It would seem he's busy with the anti-terrorist countermeasures or what have you. I had hoped he'd been in attendance at this banquet tonight. But I guess he couldn't pull himself away. What do you think about all this, Mayor? Putting mayors from every city in the same place at the same time. Well, if the Queen were to be in attendance, I would expect some announcement of no small importance. But as it is, this feels like the Duke has too much time on his greasy, chubby hands. He's letting his position as royal proxy go to his head. That sounds about right. And there might still be some kind of official announcement. Well, whatever may come of the night, the Grand Chef here is the best of the kingdom. I plan to enjoy the dinner, pay my respects to Her Majesty, and return to Bose post-haste. Well, it was nice to see Maybelle. I kind of like doing her posh voice, even if it's not very good. some kind of library. Empty room. Empty room. Wait, I didn't see the top corner. Yeah, empty room. Another empty room. Not an empty room. Murdoch, Estelle, Joshua. Mr. Murdoch, I thought you might be here. With the mayoral class individuals on the guest list, we had a feeling you might also be in attendance. I must say, I never expected you two to win the tournament and end hobnobbing the Grancel Castle. Cassia's kids to the bone, you are. Heh. It took more than our upbringing to get us here. Lots of people helped along the way. It's been a few days. There been any developments? Well, right after you left for the capital, Captain Amalthea from the Intelligence Division came knocking. She forced me to come to this banquet, but I kept my mouth shut about the fortress. Professor Russell and company are still on the run, though. Army hasn't found them. But the longer we keep this up, the less chance they have. It's really only a matter of time. I asked Captain Amalthea if I could see Her Majesty and wish her well, but no luck. I was flat out refused. So in other words, we definitely aren't going to be able to do this the easy way. We sure aren't, but you worry, because we totally have that covered. We will get the professor's message to Her Majesty. One way or another. For drinks, we have anything you can think of, be it alcoholic or non-alcoholic. So, he's here to serve guests something stiff to drink should they want it. Well, this is that rooftop garden. Ah. They did say, that maid, Shay, did tell us we were free to enjoy the terrace. Oh. This must be the royal keep. Who are you? You two. We're guests here of the Duke. This is where Her Royal Majesty lives. Of course it is. But for the last few days, she hasn't been feeling well. She's not seeing anyone right now. Oh, you've got it all wrong. We weren't even thinking of that. I just thought it would be amazing if she were even to take notice of us. So does Princess Claudia sleep here as well? No, it's just... Hey! The princess is focused on looking after Her Majesty. Neither of them has the time to deal with the likes of you. Might I inquire as to what's going on? Madam, we didn't know you were back already. This must be the maid. The dinner party will be starting soon, so I will be returning to the maid quarters. And who are our guests? They're from the team that won the martial arts competition. It's only because of that victory that someone of the Bracer's social standing would even be invited here. The Bracer's social standing? Such discourtesy! You would insult those who were personally invited to the royal castle. No, that's not what I... Those invited by the Duke should be treated with all the respect due to those invited by Her Majesty herself. I sincerely hope you have not forgotten that. Understood? She's intense. I wonder who she is. But, madam, we can't just allow them to pass. Surely you understand the reasoning that the Colonel laid out. Yes, and I'm quite tired of hearing them repeated to me. I'm terribly sorry, sir and madam. Security has been heightened as such, and the royal keep and its surroundings are off limits. If I may ask, would you mind waiting in your room until the dinner party begins? Alright. That's fine, we'll do as you ask. I apologize, we weren't trying to cause any trouble. Fine, just don't let it happen again. But as I say, return to you.
I apologize that you were subject to that dreadful behavior. My name is Hilda. I'm the head maid of Gransel Castle, and I oversee all the housekeeping duties.
Aha. We had a feeling.
Forgive my rudeness, but are we previously acquainted?
Somebody told us about you. We have a letter for you.
I know this handwriting.
We also have our bracer emblems and identification with us.
I see. Please come with me to the maid's sitting room. We can discuss the matters further there.
I understand. You need to deliver Professor Russell's message to Her Majesty, correct?
Right.
If now's not a good time, we can try later, but that's not the issue. But the Special Ops soldiers have had the Royal Keep under constant surveillance. Only the Duke, the Colonel, and hired attendants such as myself are allowed in, which means that a private audience is a no-go. What do you think, Estelle? We could ask Hilda to relay the Professor's message. No, I'd rather speak to her face-to-face. There's just too many particulars we don't know that we'd really need to discuss directly, like what Duke Duan and Colonel Richard are after.
Estelle and Joshua. I have an idea. Could I get you to return here once the party is over?
Why? Have you thought of a way for us to see Her Majesty?
I believe I have. It may be difficult, but I think it's worth a try. I'm going to need some time to get ready, so can you come back after the party?
Awesome. Understood, we'll be back.
I'll be waiting. Food prep is done, so I think we'll be serving shortly. For now, it's probably best if you sit in your room.
Hey guys, talk about being late. Party's about to start, you know. We got caught up sightseeing and lost track of time. Well, aren't we so well connected? We're close friends with the mayor of Roland. Plus, we've met the other mayors in our travels. I see. I guess your work as bracers has caused you to meet quite a few big shots. You two get around Virginia bracers. Yeah, you might say that. Have you done any bracer assignments since we came to Gransel? I guess it's not difficult in other countries, is it right? Right. For a full-fledged bracer, nationality isn't an issue when it comes to work. The prelim fights and legal procedures at the embassy kept me too busy to get any actual work done, though. But hey, there are 4 other bracers on duty too, which isn't so bad. Normally that wouldn't be enough to handle most cases, but with all of them concentrated in Gransel, that must make it tough to handle cases in other regions. Could be. I feel like a goose just walked over my grave. I wonder what's going on with Shara back in Roland. That name rings a bell. You two wouldn't be talking about Sherazard, would you? You know her? She's our mentor, and she's been a close friend for ages. Makes sense. Met her a long time ago when a case brought her to Calvard. She was fortunate to have a good master looking out with her. What? She was fortunate to have a good master working with her from a young age. Her master? Probably Dad.
Pardon me, the table for the dinner party has been set. May I show you the way?
Sure, I was getting bored. Want to go and eat fancy? That fight left me starving. Let's dig in. Come on, you two. It would be nice if you two didn't completely forget your table manners for once. Need to grab another drink. Just had one of those. Fucking whatever they're called. Ooh, Southern Peach. I don't want any alcohol right now. Although I am tempted. No alcohol right now. It's only a quarter to 2. This is a dinner party, right? What's with the empty plates? Plenty of knives and forks, though. That's because it's a formal dinner. Everything comes out in a specific order, starting with the hors d'oeuvres. Then you use your knives and forks from the outside in. And that's all part of having good table manners. And here comes the anxiety attack. Oh, it's really not so bad. It does mean that you get to have some of the finest food available. Manners and etiquette are secondary. Indeed. I'm told that you're acquainted with everyone who will be attending. No need to get stressed out. Yeah, I guess that's true. Please don't encourage her. On that note, is the gentleman accompanying you going to be okay with a fork and knife? I'm told that folks from the East usually eat with chopsticks. You've done your research. However, I'm a firm believer in when in Liberl, do as the Liberalians do. I'm not especially skilled with them, but I will use a knife and fork. My, how elegantly handled. I'm impressed. You're such a gentleman, as you are a martial arts champion. You flatter me. Boy, he really is a complete sucker for a pretty face. Most men are. I think he's more being polite than a lech, though. I think he's more being polite than a lech, though. Anyway, his grace is really late. Wonder what he's up to. Indeed. For some reason, I keep seeing that as Dean Collins. Indeed. I look like Dumbledore. Is that Captain Amalthea? Looks like it. This gentleman is Colonel Richard, commanding officer of the Royal Intelligence Division. I've invited him here to thank him for his tireless effort in helping to deal with the terrorist situation. It's a pleasure to meet you all. I was quite gratified to be invited to this occasion by our Honorable Duke. I ask you to pardon my unclothed soldier's uniform and allow me to sit with you. Yeah, that's Amalthea. Excellent. What do you say, Mayor Maybell? What do you think of Grantle Castle's Master Chef? Is his cooking not on par with that found in the Beaux Antros restaurant? Yes, it's quite remarkable. The wine selection also... The wine selection also perfectly complements the meal. I almost want to try hiring him away. You're not the first to say such things. And what of you, Zin? Zin, wasn't it? Is the food to your liking? It's excellent. I don't have the words to describe the sense of refinement and depth. I certainly believe I could develop a real taste for Liberalian cuisine, though. Good. Glad to hear it. And you, young bracers, I imagine you've never experienced such fine food in your life before. It's delicious. Far more worthy of being associated with the royal family than the person who invited us. Indeed, it's a genuine treat. Estelle, that was very rude, and he didn't even pick up on it. Huh? It certainly... it took him a second. Wait, what? It certainly is delicious. And we couldn't miss a chance to attend so prestigious an event as this. Thank you very much for your gracious invitation. Very kind of you to say. I do finally remember what my butler has been telling me about. We met before during the round incident. Perhaps our fates are linked in some bizarre fashion. Yes, sir. Maybe so. So he's forgotten all about us until his butler reminded him. Come, let us put social classes and ranks aside for an evening. Food is abundant and the wine flows freely, so enjoy to your heart's content. Your Grace. If we could, I'd like to go as we discussed first. Ah, yes, fine. Actually, I have something important to say to you fine folk who represent the kingdom. I use this celebration as this place to make an important announcement. An announcement? What could this be? I believe I will allow the Colonel Richard to explain in detail. Thank you. As you are no doubt already aware, Her Majesty has been in poor health. However, she has been recovering and may grace us with a public appearance soon. Excellent. Could we possibly go and check in on her? Unfortunately, she does not consider that to be a wise decision at the moment. Within a few days, it seems likely that the terrorists plaguing the kingdom will be swept away. In light of that, the Queen's birthday celebrations will be held as originally planned.
Well, the citizens surely will be happy to hear the news, as they have been looking forward to it. But surely, this is not all you wish to tell us.
Right. If that were all, you could have just sent a message. You are correct. Her Majesty is continuing to recover as previously stated. However, given the gravity of her condition, she was also issued a proclamation. Like in English. Due to her tenuous health, she has stated that she wishes to abdicate the throne and turn over royal authority to her nephew, Duke Duan. What? Is this true? Joshua, this is... Yeah. The conspiracy finally makes its appearance. I was surprised when Her Majesty first broached the subject as well, but her illness has left her quite frail. But it is only natural she has ruled the kingdom for 40 years, leading it through times of strife and war, all without a husband, might I add. Given that, I wish to relieve her of the stress of her duties following the festival's successful conclusion. As the heir to the throne, the decisions are mine to make. How terrible is Her Majesty's condition truly that severe? I'm ashamed that I've never noticed any signs in any annual visits. Isn't this far too serious a matter to discuss at what is supposed to be a casual dinner? Pardon my rudeness, but this all seems to stretch credulity. Mayor Maybell, are you saying that you cannot take His Grace at his word? Nothing of the sort. I simply mean that as an elected official, I do not understand why the successor to the throne can't be elected in the same fashion. That's true. If possible, I'd like to hear this directly from Her Majesty. Your unease is quite understandable, but we do not ask that you to maintain your composure and allow us to continue. As mentioned earlier, I believe Her Majesty will give a formal announcement herself during the festival. Could you be persuaded to shelve your doubts until then? Well, the issue is basically this. Once this becomes common knowledge, we cannot know how the citizens will react. This is why we're telling the leaders first to help starve off any chaos or public disorder before it happens. This is also the decision of His Grace. Well, yes, this is true. Also, the Queen's abdication of the throne will have international repercussions. The other nations of the continent will have their eyes on us. We must be watchful for any action on the part of the Arabonians. Surely, you can see why it is necessary to show unified support of the new king. This is the world in which we are going to be living. He makes it all sound so rational. Quite the master manipulator. In other words, the official degree will be given during the birthday celebrations. But you thought it would be best to inform us first so that we can be prepared for any issues that may arise. I'm glad to see that you have an understanding. If all this comes to pass, we're going to find ourselves quite busy. Yes, and we'll have to announce it to the citizens. I have a question. I believe that the Duke has a fair claim to the throne. However, is there not another who also has the same right to succession? Well, no doubt you're referring to Her Majesty's granddaughter, Princess Claudia. It is true that she and His Grace have an equal claim to the throne. But it would appear that Her Majesty did not choose her at her tender age. And I must say, I agree with her wisdom in this matter. I should hardly like to impose such a responsibility upon a girl so young. Yes, absolutely. For the time being, I believe it would be best for Claudia to find a fine marriage prospect. Though it is strictly informal, there is already interest from the royal families of a number of other nations. Perhaps a royal wedding could take place as soon as this year. Oh my.
I understand. If that happens, then we'll have 2 major events to celebrate.
I honestly think she's a bit young for marriage. Excuse me, may I ask a question? Zen? I don't mind. Speak freely. I'm sorry to seem rude, but this doesn't sound like the kind of conversation you'd want outsiders hearing. Particularly a foreigner. So, how come you're making this announcement now? This is solely because of the serendipitous turn of events that allowed Bracers to win the championship. We had wanted to inform the guild of this in advance as well. I've already discussed the idea with Her Majesty. Gotcha. I guess Liberal's military and Bracers are just as good of terms as the stories say. This is because we lack the military strength of the Empire or the Republic. The harsh reality is that keeping close relations with each other is a must. In any event, do you understand our intentions? Yeah, alright. We'll pass on what we've learned here to the guild then. I've heard some pretty unbelievable conversations in my time, but that was something else. I'm a foreigner, after all. I'm a foreigner, after all. So it's not that big of a deal for me, but I bet that was huge news for you guys. Of course it was! I can't believe things have already gone this far. Never mind. But really, what a shame. That food was amazing and it practically melted in my mouth. Couldn't tell what that last flavor was, though. Understandable, though. But anyway, did you want to go for a walk to work some of that rich food off Estelle? Huh? Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah, I could use a bit of fresh air. You just played tourist a little while ago, and now you wanted to take an after-dinner walk? I sure don't get it. Must be a local thing. I think you're exaggerating a bit. You haven't gone out to take in the sights? There's a lot of historic architecture around here, you know. If the mood hits me, I may give it a shot. On the other hand, the kitchen may still have some leftover food. You've got to be kidding me. You're still hungry? If you had a blade to my throat, my dying wish would be for some liquor and a snack. I might go and hunt a bar up or something a little bit. I mean, there is a bar off to the right, so... Oh, it's you. What? Colonel Richard, Captain Amalthea, how are you? Stella and Joshua, this is our first opportunity to speak face to face. The last time we saw one another was right after Mayor Dalmore was arrested. I'm honestly surprised that you even remember us. I realize that we've exchanged few words, but you made quite an impression on me. My curiosity was piqued, so I did a bit of checking up on you. I was quite surprised to learn that you were the children of Colonel Cassius. How did you find that out? Please understand, I'm not trying to show off my intelligence division's capabilities. I'm greatly indebted to him from our time in the military. Indeed, more than words can properly express. Might I persuade you to stay a while and talk? I've been hoping to speak with you two for quite some time now. Pardon me, Colonel, but don't you have a meeting with His Grace? I don't mind being a bit late. Ah, yes. If we're going to talk, why don't we do it use the lounge inside? I can mix you up a couple of virgin cocktails. I'll prepare them, sir. No, that won't be necessary. I want you to go to His Grace and inform him that I will be delayed. Yes, sir. Pardon me, then. Now then, shall we retire to the lounge? Please, follow me. Joshua, what should we do? I don't see where we have much of a choice but to follow him. We'll be a little late, but we can talk to the head med later. That was a fucking stutter and a half. I met Cassius shortly after I graduated from the academy. I was assigned to a mobile unit that was under his command. And since that time, I have found myself in his debt again and again, both personally and professionally. He did? And, what did you think of him at the time? To put it simply, he was a hero. And a master swordsman to boot. No matter the scenario, he could find a way to handle the number of battlefronts in every direction. It wasn't just a matter of sheer tactics. He understood and could direct high-level strategy as well. Quite simply, he was a man without a peer. If I didn't know any better, I'd say you were talking about two different people. So you were with our father during the 100 Days War? Yes, he was my commanding officer. Even now, I can still vividly remember the excitement that filled me as we executed his plan that turned the war's tide. And then, I get to talking about those days, time just goes away with me. But this much I can tell you. If Cassius Bright had not been part of the Royal Army, Liberl would now be a part of the Empire. No way. That's hard to believe. Well, as a hero, he had a knack for doing the unbelievable. He left the army immediately after the war, declining even a medal from the Queen herself. So few know his achievements. But inside the army, many soldiers still hold him up as a prime example of what a hero should be. He never said a word of this to anyone. He never said a word about this to me. Well, it's not the kind of thing you shouldn't tell your daughter about. It's not fair to criticize him for that. Whose side are you on? And besides, why doesn't any of this shock you like it shocks me? Did you already know about this or something? Well, I didn't know that he was Colonel Richard's superior officer. The rest I knew about vaguely. Vaguely? You're an accomplice. Calm down. It's not like he told me any of it. I just figured it out along the way. He told me he didn't feel it was something worth going out of his way to tell others about. I don't get it. When he comes back, he is in so much trouble. Excuse us, we didn't mean to interrupt. No. Seeing you like this is actually a bit of a relief. When I found out that your father was intending to leave the military, I desperately tried to stop him. But it seems that by leaving, he did what was best for himself. After losing his dear wife, maybe being with you was all that he could do to help recover. Now then, I thank you for taking the time to talk with me. I really can't keep the Duke waiting, so I'm afraid you'll have to excuse me. Oh, right. Our apologies for making you late. Not at all. You both have told me one thing I wanted most to know. And thus I have no regrets. How's that again? I'm sure we'll have a chance to speak again soon. Cassius might even be with us then to share his stories. Who was that man, and what has he done with Colonel Richard? What are you babbling about? It's just that it's weird to hear him talking about Dad that way. I wasn't expecting him to be so, well, nice. True, he doesn't seem to be that villainous anyway. Even so, it's pretty much a foregone conclusion that he's got something up his sleeve. For now, we should probably put the issue of Dad aside. I guess you're right. And I hate to say it, but I think that he might have been playing nice just because he could get something out of it. He's an intelligence officer, so he probably thinks that fooling a couple of kids is going to be easy. Don't you think that's going a little far? You might be right. Let me be the one who's mistrustful of others. You should just follow your instincts and believe whatever you think is right. But just make sure you're prepared for anything and don't let your guard down. I'd say a bracer's job is pretty much that, in fact. Got it. Estelle let it slip that Cassius isn't around. I'm going to end this one here. Thank you all for watching. Join me next time on The Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky as we speak with the Med Maid Hilda. But until then, I'm the Dark Seraph, signing off.